then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. He don't have a new song out that he want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still competing. It don't make sense.
50 Cent and Eminem are finally teaming up, and they've set their sights on Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Allegations are flying left and right, shady business deals, stolen credits, rigged awards, and a trail of ruined careers. This isn't just gossip, it's starting to feel like a full-blown scandal. 50 is accusing Jay-Z of still sabotaging his business ventures, even after all these years. Meanwhile, Eminem has been dropping cryptic lyrics for a while now, hinting at the dark underbelly of the music industry. He's been calling out powerful figures working behind the scenes, pulling strings and keeping the gates locked for some. But the story doesn't stop there. Beyoncé is facing her own set of accusations, claims of stealing songwriting credits and allegedly blackballing other women in the industry. The names of talented artists like Aaliyah, Maya, Mary J. Blige, and Carrie Hilson keep surfacing. These women seemed unstoppable until suddenly their careers hit walls. Coincidence? Many are beginning to think otherwise. What's more, Jay-Z and Beyoncé's close connection to Diddy is back under scrutiny. Jay might have dodged that lawsuit from Jane Doe, but now the alleged victim is speaking up. She's hinting she was pressured to keep silent, and when some suspicious individuals showed up at her doorstep, things took a truly alarming turn. This leads to the burning question. Are Jay-Z and Beyoncé truly the power couple they portray? Or have they maintained their throne by sweeping mess after mess under the rug? Have they been climbing higher at the expense of others' careers, even lives? For years, speaking ill of Jay and Bey meant immediate backlash. Detractors were labeled as bitter or jealous. But now, cracks are appearing in their carefully maintained image. Leading the charge are 50 Cent and Eminem, fearless and unflinching, as they pull back the curtain on the so-called king and queen of the industry. What truths are they about to reveal? They forget that I'm Dre's artist, one of the most respected names in the game, and 50 Cent isn't staying silent either. He's calling out Jay-Z as insecure, jealous, and petty. This isn't just talk either. Back in 2023, 50 publicly accused Jay of trying to block him from performing at the Super Bowl by using his connections within the NFL. The maneuver backfired spectacularly when Eminem stepped in, putting his foot down and saying, "No 50, no Slim Shady." That bold move revealed just how far Jay would allegedly go to keep 50 out of the spotlight. Fast forward to now, and 50 Cent isn't letting this go. In a recent interview on Talk with Flea featuring Cameron, he aired out more allegations, claiming Jay is still pulling underhanded tricks, not just in the music industry, but also in the corporate world. According to 50, Jay's actions aren't about proving anything anymore. He's already accomplished plenty. But instead of moving on, Jay allegedly continues to block 50's deals out of sheer spite. The drama doesn't stop there. 50 and Eminem are now teaming up, turning their attention to what they see as major Grammy rigging. 50 has pointed the finger at Jay, accusing him of leveraging his marriage to Beyoncé as a strategic cheat code to secure awards. On top of that, Eminem has been calling out the Grammy system for years, labeling it a rigged, pay-to-win operation. When Beyoncé finally walked away with the Album of the Year Grammy for Cowboy Carter, not everyone bought into the victory. Rumors started swirling. Fans and insiders alike whispered that Jay might have pulled strings yet again. This speculation gained more traction after Jay's appearance at the previous year's ceremony, where he publicly criticized the Recording Academy for snubbing his wife. But here's the twist. Fans weren't convinced by Jay's speech at all. It came off as insincere. There he was, clutching an award, while railing against the very institution that handed it to him. If the Grammys are so biased, people wondered, why even show up? Why not take a stand, walk away, and prove you don't need their validation? Instead, Jay seemed to double down, which only amplified the whispers. The big question on everyone's mind became, are the Carters genuinely rising to the top through raw talent and hard work? Or is it all built on backroom deals, blackmail, and a hefty dose of industry clout? For years, insiders have been saying that the Grammys are less about true artistry and more about who you know, how much you're willing to play the game, and what you can offer in return. Eminem has been one of the loudest voices calling out this reality. He's been vocal for ages, openly describing the Grammys as a rigged system, a carefully orchestrated spectacle that serves industry politics more than genuine skill or creativity. Eminem has even vowed never to return to the ceremony, and he's stayed true to his word. But don't think it's just sour grapes. Eminem made it clear that if another artist truly released a better album than his, he'd accept the loss. What frustrates him isn't defeat, it's the manipulation. The Grammys hype him up, slap his name on the promos, boost their ratings by making fans think he's a frontrunner. But when the big night comes, he's shut out, as if he was never in serious contention. It's all smoke and mirrors. When asked if he'd ever consider joining the Grammy voting committee, Eminem didn't hesitate. He flatly stated that it wouldn't make a difference, because in his eyes, the system is rigged from top to bottom. The votes, he claims, mean absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is standing firmly by Eminem's side, going even further with his accusations. He hasn't just called out the Grammys as a scam. He's gone on record suggesting that Jay-Z's wins aren't really about the music at all. It's a bold claim and it adds fuel to an already roaring fire. According to 50, Jay-Z's Grammy wins have less to do with his music and more to do with his marriage to Beyoncé. He claims the Recording Academy knows exactly what it's doing. When Jay and Beyoncé show up, cameras flash, ratings skyrocket, and the show goes viral. The strategy? Keep nominating them, keep handing them trophies, just to ensure that power couple graces the stage. But 50 didn't stop there. During a fiery appearance on the Flagrant podcast, he doubled down on his claims. He suggested that Jay's entire empire, those stacks of Grammy trophies and his revered status, might not be as much about talent as everyone thinks. In 50's eyes, it's about who Jay married. In fact, he went as far as calling Jay and Beyoncé's marriage a business contract. He hinted that their relationship might be more about maintaining an image, securing deals, and consolidating power rather than genuine love. Pretty wild, right? And it's not just 50 making these claims. Rumors have swirled for years. Industry insiders have whispered that Jay-Z and Beyoncé allegedly blocked other artists from rising to keep the spotlight firmly on themselves. Why? So they could remain the undisputed king and queen of the music world. Supposedly, it's not enough for them to be successful. They allegedly made moves to ensure no one else could even come close. Then there's the chilling account of Uncle Ron, Beyoncé's former bodyguard. Before his untimely death from pneumonia, Uncle Ron came forward with what he said were receipts, evidence that Jay and Beyoncé allegedly destroyed careers, ruined lives, and crushed emerging stars, all in the name of protecting their own throne. His story took a dark turn when he hinted that he knew too much. The timing of his death? Let's just say it raised more than a few eyebrows. And how could we not mention Jaguar Wright? Once a background singer for Jay-Z, Jaguar has transformed into one of his most vocal critics. She's been spilling secrets for years, alleging that people close to Jay, like the Harlem legend Big L, mysteriously lost their lives or saw their careers disappear just as Jay's was taking off. These accusations have only added fuel to the fire, painting a picture of an empire built not just on talent, but on carefully orchestrated moves to secure a seemingly unshakable legacy. Let's take a moment to reflect on Big L. Back in the early 90s, Big L was a lyrical phenom from Harlem, known for jaw-dropping freestyles and a flow that had the streets talking non-stop. He had raw talent that couldn't be ignored, and soon Columbia Records came knocking. When he dropped his debut album, it made serious noise and confirmed what everyone already knew. Big L was a force to be reckoned with. Even after Columbia decided to drop him, Big L wasn't about to fade into the background. He took matters into his own hands, launching his own label and carving out a name for himself on his terms. His hard work didn't go unnoticed. Dame Dash, co-founder of Rockefeller Records, recognized the star power Big L possessed. The buzz around him was electric. It looked like he was finally going to get the recognition he deserved. And just when the stars seemed to align for Big L, tragedy struck. On February 15, 1999, Big L was fatally shot in a drive-by in Harlem. The loss was devastating. He was on the verge of breaking through to a whole new level of success. To this day, the case remains unsolved, and the lack of answers has left a gaping hole in the hearts of fans and loved ones. But Jaguar Wright? She isn't holding back. She's openly speculated that Jay-Z may have played a part in this tragic event. It's a heavy accusation, and one that keeps resurfacing whenever discussions about Big L's potential and untimely death arise. Now, let's pivot to another iconic figure in hip-hop, DMX. Few had the courage to challenge Jay-Z as openly and unapologetically as DMX did. From the very start, DMX made it known that he believed Jay harbored bitterness and jealousy. And when Jay-Z became the president of Def Jam in 2004, things went from bad to worse. DMX had been the label's backbone, cranking out 5 consecutive #1 albums between 1998 and 2003. He was a powerhouse, a chart-dominating force that put Def Jam on the map in a big way. But as the 2000s rolled on and DMX prepared to drop his 6th album, Year of the Dog, again, something shifted. His once solid relationship with Def Jam seemed to sour. What had been a mutually beneficial partnership suddenly felt strained. Many speculated that Jay's influence, now magnified by his leadership position, played a significant role in creating those tensions. DMX didn't just fade away. He openly voiced his frustrations, making it clear that he believed Jay's bitterness had spilled over into business decisions that impacted his career. DMX made no secret of his belief that Jay-Z deliberately held him back to clear the stage for his own return. And the drama didn't end there. In 2005, DMX released The Industry, a track that laid bare the behind-the-scenes manipulation that he believed ran rampant in the music world. What's shocking is how much of what he rapped about then still seems relevant now. Even Irv Gotti, a well-connected industry insider, once pointed out Jay's apparent jealousy toward DMX. Irv claimed that Jay and his mentor, Liar Cohen, used to mock DMX, convinced he'd never make it big. But DMX defied all expectations, proving them dead wrong. Despite that, Jay's name kept cropping up in conversations about industry tactics, particularly when Beanie Sigel spoke out. Beanie didn't hold back when describing what felt like a constant effort to keep him from rising too high. He shared how Jay would strategically release his own projects around the same time as Beanie's, effectively hogging the spotlight and limiting Beanie's success. It was as if there was a glass ceiling over Beanie's career, one he couldn't shatter, no matter how much he achieved. Beanie has admitted to making his own mistakes, including the legal troubles that plagued him, but he didn't shy away from pointing out that Jay's actions seemed deliberate. According to Beanie, Jay knew exactly what he was doing. Every move was carefully calculated to maintain his dominance. And Beyoncé? While some fans have tried to paint her as a passive figure in all of this, the idea that she's merely Jay's puppet doesn't hold water. She's no stranger to allegations of backstage maneuvers herself. The narrative that she's just along for the ride doesn't align with the stories from insiders who've pointed out her own power plays and calculated decisions. There's no way Beyoncé has been standing by Jay's side for all these years without being deeply involved in their shared strategy. If anything, it seems like they've been a team in running the industry, allegedly taking out anyone they see as a threat to their empire. And the stories that keep coming to light are as intriguing as they are unsettling. Take the example of Beyoncé's early solo days, right after Destiny's Child started fading into the background. When she began working closely with Jay, producer Rich Harrison, best known for his work on the hit single One Thing by rising star Amerie, suddenly shifted allegiances. Amerie was heating up at the time, generating buzz as a potential competitor to Beyoncé. Harrison's signature style was all over Amerie's sound, and when he started collaborating with Beyoncé, fans couldn't help but notice the similarities. Crazy in Love became a massive hit, and many wondered if Beyoncé had adopted Amerie's winning formula, essentially leaving her rival in the dust. And then there's the saga with Carrie Hilson. Once a rising R&B star, Carrie found herself tangled in a feud with Beyoncé that seemed to come out of nowhere. The rumor mill churned out whispers that Carrie's producers tricked her into recording what amounted to a diss track against Beyoncé. That track, many say, was the spark that lit a firestorm of backlash. Carrie initially denied that she'd taken shots at Beyoncé, But things only escalated when she refused to hold a magazine cover featuring Beyoncé and Jay-Z. A seemingly simple act of defiance triggered the Bayhive's wrath, leading to confrontations in public and a flood of online harassment. Behind the scenes, whispers persisted that Beyoncé herself, or at least people within her inner circle, had orchestrated the situation from the start. Some claimed Beyoncé's team set Carrie up, coaxing her into recording a song that would come back to haunt her while Beyoncé played the innocent party. Years later, Carrie all but confirmed these rumors. In a 2020 interview, she revealed that she'd been pressured into recording that track and that the threats and harassment she faced afterward were no joke. What looked like a PR feud turned out to be something much darker, an alleged campaign to sideline a competitor and clear the field for Beyoncé's dominance. And we can't leave out Kelly's. The Milkshake singer publicly called out Beyoncé for sampling her iconic track without permission or proper credit. When Beyoncé released her project containing the sample, Kelly didn't hold back, accusing her of outright theft. It was another incident that hinted at a pattern, claims from multiple artists who felt their work, careers, and reputations were trampled on to ensure Beyoncé's continued rise to the top. What's even crazier is that Kelly only learned about the situation through social media, just like everyone else. She wrote, "I heard about this the same way everyone else did. Nothing is ever as it seems. Some of the people in this business have no soul or integrity, and they have everyone fooled." That kind of raw statement shed light on just how disillusioned she felt about the music industry's inner workings. Taking to Instagram, Kelly shared her thoughts in detail, explaining that her frustration wasn't only about the music, it was about the lack of respect. She highlighted how rare it is for Black female artists to thrive in the business and how, given their shared network of mutual friends and industry connections, a simple phone call could have prevented the entire conflict. Kelly's words were pointed. "It's not that hard to contact me, it's just common decency." Instead of apologizing or making amends, Beyoncé quietly removed the sample without a word. There was no statement, no acknowledgement, no effort to make things right. Just silence. The whole situation left a bitter taste, reinforcing Kelly's claims about the lack of integrity she'd encountered. Then there's the story of Maya, a name that's faded from the spotlight for reasons few discuss. Rumors swirl that Maya was blackballed after allegedly refusing Jay-Z's advances. She's opened up in interviews, speaking frankly about how power dynamics in the industry can put young, ambitious artists in precarious and sometimes dangerous positions. Maya described her approach as straightforward. She simply said no and walked away. But that decision came with a heavy price. In the aftermath, she hinted at how her reputation took a hit, suggesting that her refusal led to her name being dragged through the mud and her career being quietly pushed aside. Maya's story is yet another chapter in the ongoing conversation about power, respect, and the cost of standing up for oneself in the music world. So now that we've gone through just a fraction of the names, 50 Cent, Eminem, Kelly, Maya, Jaguar Wright, DMX, Beanie Sigel, and countless others, it's clear the allegations stack up high. The burning question remains, are Jay-Z and Beyoncé simply doing what it takes to protect their legacy? Or is there more to the story? Are they really using their power behind closed doors to sabotage potential rivals? This list of claims is far from exhaustive. If you know of another artist whose story deserves to be told, drop their name in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. What's your take on all of these accusations? Are the Carters truly untouchable, or are they just skilled at sweeping controversies under the rug? We want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. If you're interested in more jaw-dropping stories that pull back the curtain on the music industry, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.